Hey there, pasta people, your perfect nightmare here. So, today's pastas are very special because, as you may or may not know, yesterday was my good friend Dr. Moxmo's birthday. A link to his channel is in the description below, so if you haven't already subscribed to him, you're missing out. So, go do that. Seriously. Go now. Go. Moving on, I also want to let you guys know that I have 3 collaborations coming out in the next little while. One will be posted on my channel, and the other 2 will be posted on other channels. So just to make sure you guys catch them all, I'll post an update video with links to those 2 once they're revealed. So, happy birthday Dr. Moxmo. I hope you had a fantastic day without disappearing or any overly traumatizing childhood memories. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video. And until next week, I'll see you in your nightmares. Happy birthday, they used to say. Happy birthday to you. In the not-too-distant future, we were going to have flying cars, endless food, miracle medicine, and world peace. Until all the adults went away. No one knows what happened. It was just as surreal as reality can get. Many of us just woke up to the empty beds and houses, alarms blaring with no certain answer from their users. No notes goodbye, no missing cars. Nothing that I could discern would have signaled our parents to have been taken by force. It wasn't long until we knew for a fact that they all just disappeared, though. It's still happening. Every time one of us ages, we become 18, we are gone. Few see it, and it's hard not to blink when you're focusing that hard, but one second you're there, and the next you're not. I wonder if it's better to be there, wherever it is they go. It certainly isn't any good down here. At first it was normal. We all grieved, panicked, and tried desperately to decide on what we'd do next. Some of us tried to take responsibilities, help the little ones adjust. Then, the fire came. For a while, we weren't sure how, but as we scrambled to organize the hysterical children, we saw them. A couple of punks with way too much liquor were throwing around homemade Molotovs. They took us over. We didn't really get a choice. They had guns. What were we supposed to do? Worse, the kids loved it. I mean, they were timid at first, but they just fell in love with the idea of being able to play with real guns. And the shadows. I don't know if they're real or not, but it certainly isn't helping. We hear noises at night. In the distance we see movement, and the assholes that took over our camp are our protectors. Little babies may eat that right up, but we know better. They do too. I see it in their faces when they look at me. Try something is written all over their eyes. It wasn't long until the first kid got shot, and the first deaths happened. They died, and I couldn't do anything. The little guy thought he was protecting us from the shadows, and she was just coming back from the restroom. Those punks had him beat, and when he cried for mercy, they shot him. Justice, they called it. We called it madness. We called it tyranny, and we tried to stop it. No one can say we didn't try. But the kids were scared, and after weeks of taking in other refugees and hearing more stories about the shadows, everyone just turned to the guys with the guns. I didn't know what was happening elsewhere, but the nights the low gurgling sounds from the shadows don't overwhelm me are the nights I swear I hear gunfire and screams in the distance. I wish I could do something right now. I wish I didn't have to listen to them all, scared, crying, alone. Have you ever read The Lord of the Flies? Perhaps not. Whoever reads this won't remember us. I guess that's why I'm writing this. so that someone will remember us. No, I'm writing this because even after all the trouble we caused, even after executing everyone else who tried to put a stop to them, they didn't kill me. It's because they know they don't have to. I'm writing this because today is my 18th birthday. You know, parents are always finding new ways to entertain or enrich their kids. In fact, the earliest years are the most important in a child's life when it comes to developing their young mind. This was no different for me. My mom would always take me to the arcades, complete with all sorts of top-of-the-line games, or the parks with the jungle gyms that were always scalding hot from being in the sun all day. There weren't too many options to choose from, but for what they were, those were what made up my fondest childhood memories. As a treat for my 7th birthday, my mom took me to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. It was supposed to be a fun little place from what I can remember. A magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life, or something like that. It looked really promising, to be honest with you, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited about going there. The pizza was what you'd expect, lazily put together and didn't quite taste right, but you didn't go for the food. You went to see Freddy Fazbear and his gang of colorful friends, Bonnie the Bunny and Chica the Chick. There was Foxy too. He lived in the Pirate Cove. Thinking back on it now, the animatronics were pretty good for the time. They had full body movement when singing on stage, and even Foxy moved around quite a bit on his little pirate ship. In fact, I remember that after a few songs, Freddy and his friends would come off the stage and walk around, interacting with the kids. They would walk up to the kids and say things like,
"How's the pizza? Good, I bet."
Or, "Are you having fun? I know I am." I remember that Foxy always said,
"It's me, I'm gonna get ya."
It was cute. To keep the kids entertained, there would be little games they'd play, like Follow the Freddy, which was just follow the leader, or Foxy's Treasure Hunt, where kids would be given small trinkets and Foxy would chase after them, like a game of tag. I remember I had finished my slice of pizza, and I asked if I could play the treasure hunt game with Foxy. My mom said it was okay, so I got up and one of the workers gave me a tiny palm-sized treasure chest. I was actually really excited. Foxy was my favorite. Me and about 6 other kids were given small treasures, and that's when Foxy jumped off the Pirate Cove. He yelled,
"It's me, I'm gonna get ya!"
And that's when we all scrambled. It was great fun. I looked over my shoulder and saw Foxy chasing around the other kids, and at one point, he even almost got me. Boy, Foxy was fast. I didn't quite know why at the time, but while I was in the middle of playing the treasure hunt game, my mom lifted me up abruptly and carried me swiftly towards the exit. She said things like, "We've got to go right now," and "We never should have come here." I had never heard such an urgency in her voice before. I thought that maybe it was because some kids started crying when Foxy caught them. They had screamed really loudly and started sobbing. I remember that a bunch of parents rushed over. There was all sorts of commotion and noise, but I was too busy having fun to notice that anything was wrong. But now that I think of it, I do remember that as my mom carried me through the exit, I saw Foxy standing above the body of the kid he had caught. He was staring right at me, with crimson liquid dripping from his sharp teeth.
"It's me. I'm gonna get